What if I told you there's a hidden code to success? One that's been sitting in plain sight for decades? It's a secret that billionaires, innovators, and visionaries swear by, yet most people overlook. You're about to discover the timeless principles in Think and Grow Rich that could completely reshape your future. But first, have you ever wondered why some people seem destined for greatness, while others struggle endlessly? Let's find out.
Here's a thought experiment. Imagine walking into a room where every single thing around you, every chair, every table, every light bulb, was once just a thought in someone's head. Sounds a little weird, doesn't it?
Weird, but true. Every invention, every achievement, even every disaster, started with a single idea. Napoleon Hill called it out decades ago. Thoughts are things. And not just things. They're the raw material for every success or failure in your life.
But let's be honest, when's the last time you treated your thoughts like they mattered? Like they had weight? Most of us let them slip through our minds like sand through our fingers. No focus, no structure, just chaos.
That's where the conflict starts. Because if your thoughts are scattered, your life will be too. Hill wasn't the first to say it, but he said it best. What you think about, you bring about.
Take Edwin C. Barnes. His story is a classic, but let's strip it down to the gritty, uncomfortable truth.
Barnes wasn't a genius. He wasn't rich. Honestly, he wasn't even lucky. But what he did have was tunnel vision. He wanted to partner with Thomas Edison, not work for him, partner with him. Everyone else would have laughed at that thought and walked away.
Not Barnes. He jumped on a freight train, probably smelled awful, probably felt worse, and showed up at Edison's office, looking more like a hobo than a business mogul. And you know what he said? Not, "Can I have a job?" but "I'm here to work with you."
Audacious, right? And guess what Edison saw? Not the dirt or the desperation, but the conviction. Edison gave him a shot, not as a partner, but at the bottom of the ladder. Most people would have sulked. Not Barnes. He saw it as his opening.
And years later, that thought he had, the one everyone else would have dismissed, became a reality. Edison called him a man who created his own opportunity.
Barnes' story isn't about luck or talent. It's about friction, the kind of inner conflict that happens when your dream is so big it terrifies you. Hill believed that conflict is where most people give up. They let doubt win.
But here's the twist. Hill also believed you can weaponize your thoughts. Turn them into tools. Sharpen them into weapons. Desire is the first step, but it's not enough. You need faith. And faith isn't hope, it's a relentless, almost stubborn belief that what you want is already yours.
Sounds nice, right? But how does it actually work? Let's talk about Hill's son, Blair. Born without ears. No ears, no hearing. Doctors told Hill he'll never speak, never live a normal life.
Hill could have accepted that. Most people would have, but he didn't. Instead, he refused to treat Blair as broken. Every single day, he told his son he could do anything. And here's where it gets crazy. Blair believed it. That belief became his reality.
By the time Blair was grown, he wasn't just speaking. He was thriving. And Hill didn't call it a miracle. He called it proof. Proof that faith, combined with persistent action, can rewrite any story, even one written by doctors and doubters.
Let's make this personal. How many stories have you let someone else write for you? How many times have you told yourself, "I'm not ready," or "This isn't possible"?
Let me flip the question. What if your doubts are wrong? What if those obstacles you see are just disguises for opportunity? Hill believed every challenge hides a chance to grow, but most people are too afraid to look.
So here's the unorthodox truth. The life you want is probably sitting on the other side of something uncomfortable. Maybe it's a phone call you've been avoiding. Maybe it's starting before you're ready. Maybe it's believing in yourself when it feels impossible.
Whatever it is, write it down. Not just the dream, but the step you'll take today. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Today. Even if it's messy. Even if it's scary. Even if you fail the first time.
Because here's what Hill understood better than most. Thoughts don't just shape your reality. They become your reality. And if you don't take control of them, someone else will.
So, what's it going to be? Let the chaos win or weaponize your mind and fight for the life you deserve?
The choice is yours. But remember, thoughts are things. And today, they're your most powerful weapon. Now, if you've been following along, you know that Hill isn't just talking about the power of your thoughts. He's giving you the first step to turning those thoughts into something real. But here's the kicker. It's not enough to just think it. You have to desire it. You've got to feel it in your bones.
Because thoughts without desire, they're just empty ideas floating in the air. Desire is the ignition. It's what gets the engine of your ambition running. And that engine, once it starts, it doesn't stop unless you let it.
So, if you're ready to take that next step, if you're ready to make those thoughts a living, breathing part of your reality, let's understand the next big piece of the puzzle, desire. Because without it, you're just dreaming. But with it, you're unstoppable. Let me ask you something. What's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning? Besides scrolling through your phone, of course.
Most of us just get up and go through the motions, coffee, shower, work, repeat. But what if that moment, right after you open your eyes, is actually the moment where everything starts to change? Where your entire future begins?
Napoleon Hill had an answer for that. He argued that the most successful people in the world don't wake up on autopilot. They wake up with a single burning thought, a desire so strong that it consumes their entire being.
And I'm not talking about the wishy-washy, I hope to make it big one day kind of desire. I'm talking about a desire that drives you to do the unthinkable. The kind that makes you act when the world tells you to sit down and wait.
Take Edwin C. Barnes again. Remember him? He didn't just want to work with Thomas Edison, he needed it. This wasn't some vague, half-baked dream. This was everything to him.
Barnes wasn't the smartest, wasn't the richest. Hell, he didn't even have a clear plan. But what he did have was a desperation that made him do what others wouldn't even dare. He didn't wait for a door to open. He walked up to the door and knocked hard.
So, when Barnes showed up at Edison's office with nothing but a dream, what happened? Edison didn't roll out the red carpet. No, he gave Barnes a job. Sure, but not the job Barnes wanted. It was a lowly position, but Barnes didn't complain. He didn't walk away in defeat. He dug in.
And guess what? That desire, that raw, primal hunger, didn't let him quit. Over time, Barnes became not just a part of Edison's team, but a partner. That's the power of desire. It forces you to act when logic tells you to stand still.
Now you might be thinking, sure, that's great for Barnes, but I don't have the resources, the connections, or the luck.
Let's stop right there. Hill didn't say desire was about what you have. It's about what you want. Desire doesn't care if you're broke, lonely, or stuck. Desire cares only about what you're willing to sacrifice, what risks you're willing to take, and how badly you want it.
And to take that desire and turn it into reality, Hill says you need more than just passion. You need a plan. You need faith. And most of all, you need to believe that your success is already a done deal.
But here's where people mess up. They think success comes from waiting for everything to line up perfectly. Hill was clear. The first step is knowing exactly what you want. Don't just say, "I want to be rich," or "I want a better life." That's too vague. Be specific.
So, let's talk about the 6-step process that Hill laid out to turn desire into achievement. Ready for the twist?
Step 1. Be exact. None of this, "I want to make more money" crap. How much money do you want to make? Be precise. If you can't define it, how can you go after it?
Step 2. What are you willing to give in return for what you want? Everything worth having has a price. No one gets something for nothing. So what's your price? Your time? Your energy? Your comfort?
Step 3. Give yourself a deadline. Not someday. Not next year. Now. What's the point of having a goal if you don't give yourself a time limit? Without it, you're just daydreaming.
Step 4. Plan. And I don't mean, "I'll figure it out later." No. Hill said start now, even if you're not ready. Start with what you have, where you are. Because, guess what? There's never a perfect time to begin.
Step 5. Write it all down. Every detail. Write it like it's already happened. When you see it, feel it, believe it in your bones, it starts to materialize.
Step 6. Read your written statement aloud twice a day. When you wake up, when you go to bed. And every time you say it, see it, believe it, and feel it.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Sounds easy enough, but does it really work? And that's the thing. Hill didn't give us some abstract idea. He gave us a roadmap, a process, and it's up to you to take action.
Because here's the truth, desire without action is just a wish. And if you want to break free from the grind and the excuses, you've got to take those 6 steps seriously. Don't just think about it, do something about it.
Here's the wild part. Hill wasn't talking about wishing for a good life. He was talking about creating one. From your desires, from your actions, from your belief that it's already yours.
Is it going to be easy? Absolutely not. But desire isn't supposed to be easy. Desire is what pushes you when everyone else tells you to quit. Desire is what keeps you awake at night, not because you're stressed, but because you can't stop thinking about what you're going to create.
So let me ask you again, what do you really want? And how badly do you want it?
Because if you're not willing to go all in, then this game isn't for you. But if you are, then you've just unlocked the secret to everything you've ever dreamed of. So, we've talked about thoughts. We've talked about desire. But here's the thing. If those two are the fuel and the engine, there's one more piece you need to get this machine moving. Faith.
Wait, before you roll your eyes and think we're getting preachy, let's break this down. Faith, according to Hill, isn't some mystical, intangible idea. It's a state of mind, a tool, a weapon, and if you learn how to wield it, it can tear down the walls standing between you and everything you want.
Faith isn't about waiting for a miracle. It's about creating one. Hill calls it the head chemist of the mind. Why? Because it mixes your thoughts and your desires into a powerful formula that rewires your brain to believe no, to know that your goals are inevitable.
Sounds great, right? But how do you actually build this faith? Hill has a simple answer: autosuggestion. Fancy term, simple idea. It's the art of talking to yourself, but on purpose. Instead of the usual chatter, "I'm not good enough, this will never work."
Exactly. You flood your brain with affirmations. You tell yourself over and over what you're going to achieve. You say it until it stops sounding crazy, until your subconscious starts believing it's true. Because once your subconscious believes it, the game changes.
And let me tell you, this isn't just some self-help fluff. Hill shares a story about a man who used autosuggestion to turn his life around. This guy had nothing, no plan, no resources, but he had faith. And every day, he told himself he'd be wealthy. At first, it was just words. But over time, those words became a vision. And that vision, it turned into a plan. And that plan? Well, you can guess the rest.
But autosuggestion isn't just about money. Hill gives us a mind-blowing example of how faith can heal. There was this doctor, right? He used placebo treatments, not actual medicine to cure patients. How? He combined the treatment with powerful affirmations of recovery. The patients believed they'd get better. And you know what? They did.
It's wild, isn't it? Faith alone, not pills, not surgery, transformed their health. That's the kind of power we're talking about here. The kind that can move mountains, or at least make you believe you can.
And if you still think faith is fluff, let's talk about Mahatma Gandhi. This man had no army, no weapons, just a vision of independence and an unshakable belief in non-violence. Through faith alone, he led millions and toppled an empire. That's the level of transformation we're dealing with here.
So, how do you cultivate this kind of faith? Hill gives us a playbook, and step 1 is autosuggestion. Write down your goals and affirmations. Say them out loud daily. And don't just mumble them. Say them like you mean it. Say them until they become part of you.
Next, visualize. Picture yourself living the life you want. Don't just see it, feel it. What does it smell like? What does it sound like? How does it make you feel? Because when your brain sees it, your body starts to believe it.
And here's an underrated step. Curate your environment. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, not drag you down. Read, listen, and watch things that reinforce your vision. Protect your faith like it's the most valuable thing you own. Because it is.
And if you're wondering how to keep the faith alive when things get tough, here's the trick. Celebrate the small wins. Every little success is proof that you're moving closer to your goal. Write them down. Reflect on them. Let them fuel your belief in what's possible.
Now, let's be real. Faith isn't a switch you flip overnight. It's a muscle you build. One affirmation, one visualization, one step at a time. And the more you use it, the stronger it gets.
So, what are you going to do today to build your faith? What's the first affirmation you're going to say? What's the first thing you're going to visualize? Because if you're ready to believe in yourself the way Hill believed in this principle, you're already halfway there.
Thoughts, desire, and faith, they're all connected. And when you align them, that's when the magic happens. So, what are you waiting for? Start now. Because the only thing standing between you and your dreams is the belief that you can have them.
And with faith on your side, that belief isn't just possible, it's inevitable. Now that you know the secret thoughts, desires, faith, and autosuggestion, what are you going to do with it? Because here's the thing, all the knowledge in the world means nothing if you don't take that first step.
Right now, you have everything you need. You have the blueprint, the power of your subconscious mind, the strategies to make your dreams real. But it's up to you. Are you ready to commit? Are you ready to unlock the door to your success and step through it?
Hill calls your mind a garden. Now, think about it. If you don't plant good seeds, what's going to grow? Weeds, right? Negative thoughts, fear, doubt, the stuff that keeps you stuck. But here's the thing, if you plant positive seeds, Seeds of success, confidence, and vision, those will grow too. And it all starts with repetition.
Repetition is the magic sauce. You can't just think positive thoughts once and expect them to stick. You've got to say them. You've got to hear them over and over. It's like rewiring your brain. That's why Hill makes it clear you can't just want success. You have to remind yourself of it daily until your mind has no choice but to believe it's already happening.
Hill gives us the perfect example, Charles M. Schwab. The guy was once a day laborer, nothing special. But Schwab had a secret weapon, his ability to talk to himself, to remind himself of his goals, day in and day out. And through that repetition, he didn't just change his mindset. He changed his life, from laborer to the president of Carnegie Steel. Think about that.
Now, I know Schwab's story sounds almost too good to be true. But that's the point. Repetition works. It transforms your mind, your actions, and your outcomes. And Hill isn't just telling you to do this because it sounds nice. He's giving you a blueprint, a step-by-step method.
Step 1. Write your affirmations down and make them clear. Make them specific. Something like, I am confident and successful in my career. Don't just say, I want to be successful. Speak it into existence. Be bold, be clear.
Step 2. Read your affirmations aloud. Yes, out loud. Twice a day, once when you wake up and once before you hit the bed. As you say them, imagine it all happening. See it, feel it, picture the emotions, the sights, the sounds, the victories. Don't just recite words, live them.
Step 3. Be the gatekeeper of your thoughts. Catch the negative ones before they settle in. Replace them with your affirmations. That's where the real work happens. It's not just about saying, I want to succeed. It's about constantly pushing out the doubt and bringing in the belief.
And you're going to need to be patient. This isn't a one-and-done deal. Autosuggestion is like building muscle. It's gradual, but it's worth it. The more you do it, the stronger your belief becomes. And soon enough, your subconscious mind will be so aligned with your goals that taking action will feel natural.
So, what do you do now? Write your affirmations. Stick with them, day after day. And don't just believe in them, live them. Your subconscious mind is powerful, but it needs your help to focus it. Repetition is the key.
And when your mind is aligned with your goals, you won't just think success, you'll become it.
Remember, this isn't about hoping things work out. This is about creating a mindset that makes success inevitable.
If you think this chapter was powerful, just wait until you see what's coming next. The next lesson will take this concept even further. It's the key that ties everything together, and trust me, you don't want to miss it.
Remember to like this video, subscribe, and stay tuned. The journey is just beginning, and the next chapter, it's the breakthrough you've been waiting for. You won't want to miss a single step of this process. Your future self will thank you.